Sonia has just wonderfully presented how we can systematically work with context so that context would work for the sake of the company. And our next speaker is can wonderfully continue the same narrative. We have Yekaterina Yakovleva, who is the founder of the Strategic Solutions Studio, as commercial director of the RP Canon Medical Systems in 9 countries. And he will share with us how the culture card can unite us. I believe actually we will have yet another perspective on the topic that has been supported by the previous speakers. And now let's give the round of applause to Katerina, bring some fires in the chat and give the fire reactions. Katia, I'm waiting for you to join. Hi, Artem. Hi, everyone. Katerina, I'm happy to have you. Happy to see you. Hi, once again. Yeah, everything is fine. Yeah, really see you quite well, and everything looks fine. Just yesterday, I came from Japan, and today I will share with you the story that happened with me when I was working for the Japanese company. Today, I'll be talking about the code of cultures and how stories can be the currency of the international business. I really like the most complex tasks. Those complex tasks that you usually have for the best students during the school years. And actually, these stories helped me to solve one of the most difficult business tasks that I had. How you can have a breakthrough on the international market. Artem, can you start my slides, please? Thank you. Sometimes I will stop my presentation because it's quite minimalistic, Japanese style. Now I'm the head of the strategic decision studio. I used to be the commercial director for RP Canon Medical Systems, and I was responsible for 9 countries. And this was a challenge. 9 countries, very complex market, and it all began. It began in COVID. 2020, when we were all closed, we were all in isolation and we didn't know what to do. And we have this startup on international level. Their responsibility is not only on the level of the countries, it's on the level of the first uh, persons of people of the countries. So Canon and medical systems and pharmaceuticals company in Russia, they decided that they'll be going to be supported um, this difficult market and CIS. CIS countries are very, very different. They have different approach, different history, and that's a tough market. And we started to analyze our sales, and then you see that just one country has disappeared. How it has happened? So I was responsible for sales, and for me, it's crucial. It has we were under scrutiny because the agreement was signed on the level of the heads of the states. So can you imagine COVID? Lots of research. We scan. You all everyone needs CT scans, but one country is nothing. We we check analytics. We check the sales, private segment, public segment. I check with my managers. And they say they have no demand, they had no requests. And I felt like, why? Why? It's strange. That's COVID. Everyone needs CT scans. We were looking for the reasons. Uh, like we try to analyze everything. They almost never answer calls. I have no communication. I almost got disappointed. So I really was in the dead end, and I didn't know what to do and where to go. So I decided to go personally. Only personally, I can understand how it all happened. Once I had the possibility, I got all the necessary vaccines, had the official letter, and I was admitted to the office in that country. And in my whole life, it was like the coldest meeting ever. I know what is the Eastern hospitality. We were met at a large meeting room, air conditioning on, was so hot. I wanted to drink, but there was no water in. So it was really an almost hostile business meeting. Our partners, they said, we don't know Russian. Let's speak Russian. Or let's speak English, excuse me. It was okay. But we felt this tension, this coldness. It wasn't coming from air conditioning. It was just penetrating our bodies, this tension. It was almost freezing in the room because of the stress, this tension, this coldness of uh, our talk. We started the meeting. I take the notebook, I start writing down, and I say, "Mm, sub one complaint, this complaint, no responses here, no responses there. We haven't got information. You were not answering." So there was like the whole fireworks of those complaints. And just finally, the reasons has been revealed. So what was the catastrophe all about? The reason was the following. I had the agreement that was sent, the draft, the agreement. There are some back office employees who prepare such documents. They just resend, they forward this letter to those who is responsible for the region, and then it is sent to the partner. And our representative has done nothing. So the backend, they just prepared the letter, and it was just forwarded, and this is it. So nothing, nothing was done. No politeness, no sign of it. So one person prepared the draft, and the regional representative has just forwarded it, even without some signatures or something like this. For years, I've been working in the Caucasus region, and sometimes uh, I learned it from our experience. You need to respect them. So sometimes for them, status is even more important than the real conditions. So then I understood why they were so rude to us, why we were not even offered water, because we lost our face, we lost our reputation for this rude communication. Our meeting lasted for 4 hours. Just imagine how many complaints they had, how many negative energy, how much negative energy we had. I was writing down all these issues on my notebook, something I could have answered immediately. This was the whole like flow of this complaints and so on. But at the end, I felt like this tension is going. I felt like the smile is somewhere on the faces already. And this air-conditioned room, I felt warm, and not because it was hot outside, because we found the solution. We agreed. Then we have when we submit all this information. Um, Already next day, I provided lots of things, but I thought that's not enough for what we've done. And I thought we need to do something extra here. We need to go some extra mile. I like to go to the office earlier in order to have this time to focus, to find the solutions for the problems that we have. I go to the kitchen, no one is on the office. I make a cup of coffee, and one of my colleagues comes. This is the colleague from the registration team, and I share that we came from this country. Do we have some issues with registration there? And this person immediately says, "Hey, this is my home country, and I have this wonderful idea that we have a solution. I know what is the decision, how to set things." I still have the goosebumps because right at that moment, I decide that, hey, you speak your mother tongue? Yeah, surely, he said. Great. And what we do? And here, I need your attention. We decided to write the letter in their language. All of those complaints we cover in the letter in their language. We give all the necessary responses, all information. So we not only provided information, but not only we did it using their language and was actually the language of support as well for us. Because we wanted to show that we can be trusted, but we can fail, but we can be trusted afterwards. In a week, we already had a contract worth several millions of euros. Those are all the orders that they wanted to have actually with us, but they were frozen due to this loose communication. So the structured talk, proper communication, and respect is what mattered. We highlighted it through this emotional contact, through this idea. It brought us orders worth of several millions of euros, but moreover, we not only got our reputation back, we got the gratitude from our clients. This is how, first of all, we restored trust, and through the trust, we regained partnership. We had one country back, the whole country. And well, it could have been an end, but I decided to go even further because then you have a story in between you and your partner. It stays a bit internal, but we decided that we need to have the story shared during the town hall. So I shared it with all of my colleagues, um, and I shared this whole story. I shared that one of the colleagues helped us to write the letter, to have this, to really help us speak the same language. No one knew who this colleague was. He was in the room, and I asked him to raise, to show that he is, and just boom, the round of applause, and the person felt respected, felt seen, and every person just immediately got this understanding how we need to act in this company, how we can be the game changers. Every one of us in the company, we always have projects, but before uh, the projects become massive, they are small stories first. They probably are passed from colleague to colleague, but that's not a systematic approach. So what we did next, we created a whole system of storytelling that helped us to share such achievements. And we had the proper client orientation through town halls, through storytelling. And it all started with this story. Artem, here I would like you to hide the slides. several minutes because I want to highlight the following. The stories, they become alive. Then they become really tangible, seen, and this is what happened in my company. For us, this process of the value creation, the communication with foreign partners through respect, it became transparent then and evident for everyone when they shared it, what was important. You, what you believe what was most important in this process. So if I would just share in a town hall, like, hey, we need to respect our partners from CIS. Everyone would say like, yeah, yeah, that's good, that's polite. But then this situation was illustrated in details with examples that I share when I shared this cult reception that they had that turned out quite warm and actually brought financial benefits. It stayed. It sticked not only with sales managers. It became part of the client service. It became even part of the financial department. Sometimes financial department they just send order, say payment order, and that's it. But afterwards, it was always accompanied by kind words because we are working with people, people working with people, people are communicating with people, and this is what is important to share warmth and trust. Afterwards, this storytelling technique was embedded in all the town hall. We had the internal meetings where every manager was sharing a small success story. How, for example, a contract was signed, how the special equipment was promoted for the very first time on a particular market. And then it became a part of our daily routine and our corporate culture. Actually, it influenced positively our financial metrics as well. Because people, we all believe in fairy tales and something that's good. And when we hear such stories, we believe in them. Then you only see and read only some regulations, you don't feel connected. But then you hear a story with details, that's beautiful. You learn more. You can learn how to trust, how to pay respect, how to go to a particular market. And it feels quite organic. It really penetrates you, and it becomes part of you, part of the whole team. It seems like there was already some reaction. Fires, thank you very much for your support because this story always motivates me, inspires it, and it was a difficult period. Um, but in this difficulty, there's a beauty. Artyom, can you bring back my slides? I have several more slides to share. Thank you very much. So, this approach through stories, for your experience, it can be working, it can be everywhere. And it can be used in all companies of all scale, large and small. And I'll share just one more example that has happened recently with me. The owner of the company, prior to begin working with the partners. What the owner does, the owner shares a stock, and the story of the company actually then followed by the trip to the plant. This plant has several premises that you cannot enter, but together with the owner, we've created the whole journey on the plant that actually shows the benefits of this company, and it shows the way of this journey accompanied mm, by the story we show with this owner of a plant. Uh, the story of overcoming some difficulties uh, during COVID, for example, and so on. So, and this brings additional orders to this client because he openly shares and provides evidence. So, I really are the activist of stories. And I am from commercial background, and I'm absolutely sure that um, stories work really fine in commerce with clients because clients want to see your internal processes. They want to learn more from social networks, for the guided trips maybe. And also it's really good for your internal clients, for your team members. Story shows culture. Uh, it shows how we got where we are. For example, there can be success stories, the stories of failure, how they are also very powerful and they engage and they work much better than any regulation or some orders. I have lots of business cases that shows how we actually can live and understand the experience through the stories and how people eager to participate more and what is the story you tell in your business. I want to leave a bit of this time to have this open dialogue. So probably you can share your story, how your story this probably influenced your situation in the company. Maybe you can share a bit. Please write in the comment. Or Tom, one of the comments is really important. When you share this story during the town hall, you need to have a kind of a trick. No one knew who this person was who wrote this letter, and the financial result was important. So I cannot just say, "Hey, this person has helped. This is it." It will be just a kind of a report. But then we have this intrigue. It's kind of a detective story. We all like this mystery. Yeah, we really like it a lot. So when you have this mystery, yeah, you feel more engaged, and you also feel maybe even more proud of the colleague than you know when you learn his story like this. Well, I heard the same story about London. Uh, yeah, yeah. Then the letter was just forwarded. Yeah, we create a template and so on, but sometimes it's just not enough. When you see then this sometimes then like really this forwarded message that you forward with no signature from iPhone, you lose you, you lose millions of euros. And once you see it, you understand how crucial the communication is. And then, um, actually, such stories they really show how important are these stories. Here's a question. Also, I really like a question and answer session because it really becomes a dialogue. So it's not like the lecture that I'm giving only. You really have more than you ask questions. The question I've recently seen the principles in values printed as a kind of as an instruction on the wall on one of the top in one of the restaurants. Ho- Could we do you believe that mm, this brand culture really works fine in such a restaurant? No. In canon medical systems, we've actually changed such things. We also used to have something like this.
которые мы получили. Благодаря в том числе этой истории мы стали номером один по продажам компьютерных томографов среди всех.
So actually, we had lots of diplomas, and it was all somewhere in the halls. It was somewhere in the faraway corner. What I've decided to do in order to understand the scale of our company, all diplomas, all the awards, all client-related things were right near the entrance. So when the clients were going to us, we already were seeing this. Uh, it was quite well showing our team situation. So our sales were almost the best in the world during the COVID times. This was quite challenging, and actually, many effective decisions they're quite simple. We actually created this kind of a hall of fame right in the beginning near the entrance, and every time the partner goes, went to our office, we were always taking this picture near our hall of fame, near our logo, and every partner was receiving this photo. And for many, actually, it became a kind of a proud possession because many clients were showing then on their websites, hey, they are the partners with this top company and so on. Do you believe this type of format, it's not an instruction, but do you believe such an approach uh, does it work? It was easy to do. It was quite quantable to introduce. Nothing maybe special, but I worked. One more question we have. What provided you the motivation? why you were so motivated to have this question, this problem solved. In company, we always have KPIs. I was the commercial director. I was responsible for sales. For me, the results of sales, this is a status for me in the world for our company because we're under scrutiny. We were kind of an international startup, so we were um, defending the status or the reputation of our country. Also, the um, I have like Philips, Siemens, General Electric, Canon. So this is like the top four companies. So the market is really small. We all know each other. So this is why every client mattered. So we needed just to once again prove that we can be part of this market. This is why it was so important for me. So yeah, we have keep sales, we have metrics, we we need to go into new countries. We were accountable to our global office. Global office was also reporting to the top office. So uh, all of our efforts were going to support all of our missions and metrics. And but apart from indicators, I'd say it personally mattered to me. I couldn't just let it go. In the very beginning, I said like in the very early years of my life during the school, I like this complex tasks. And once again, the life brought to me this complex complex task. So for me, it was a matter of honor to accomplish this and to solve this task as well. And to sum up, I would like to mention that there is one more thing to it. How it all went with those clients later on. Artem, can you bring my presentation back again? Thank you. So I want to share my contact details and tell you the outcome of this story and how the next meetings were going on. After uh, they found a solution for this situation, once we answered all of their questions using their language, the language of respect, first of all, we got the contract, and what's more, we got the trusted partners. How it was shown, how it was um, became evident, we were always welcome. We were always welcoming us with this hospitality, and they actually somehow remembered that they actually knew Russian. Oh, so we were not only speaking English, we really were willing to find the common language. This is a really partnership happened, and yeah, we had tough situations, surely, but the energy changed once we provided the necessary respect, and then it was seated in a company. Our DNA has changed, and the whole entourage has changed for us. Thank you very much. Now, this is a slide with my details. Artem, I thank you for sharing stories, for accumulating stories, because for all of us, for each and everyone, this is so important to make it part of a business, to it for it to become the DNA of the corporate culture, so that everyone would have this vibe, how to make the business successful, how to make the business efficient, how to get more, but at the same time, the long-term partnership. So this was my story, and this is what I wanted to share with you. Those fires are burning for in your honor. I really liked how you shared the whole process of how you found a solution and what you decided to do with the story. That's phenomenal. Several questions from me. One traditional, and if we have time, the extra one. So these stories can be used for different tasks, and you know that well enough. But if you would have the possibility to solve only one task with the story, what it would be? My personal opinion. Through stories, we build the trust, and then we can have all the rest, like more sales, better marketing, easier acquisition, easier entry to the market. We see um, that many people now in social networks they try to be so transparent. Um, I mean, not transparent, like open. They share their stories, and this creates trust. I'm absolutely sure that even in large companies, we always work on the level of human beings. So human is human. Human interacts with human. And when we work on the company level, yeah, company works with the company. It actually stays the same. That's the human interaction. So for me, stories they are mainly needed to build trust. And my second question, you actually answered it already because I wanted to ask you what you need to start with, and you've told this already. Thank you very much. And I just want to say the following: how I got to know Artem, just a brief story. I won't take long. Then I was preparing the for the town hall many years ago. I've learned about the word storytelling. Well, interesting. And one of the first books I read in Russian, this was your book, and I read it almost like a workbook, and I got the instructions on it. And the story that I shared on during the town hall, it was actually based upon the theory that I got from your book. It was fantastic. And in life, we've met only in 5 years. But I learned about it earlier, and now I'm even taking part in his conference, and I'm so happy to share the story of our interaction. So be the story practitioner, not just learn about the stories. You take the instruments and you should start working with it, using it. So thank you very much. Thank you for sharing your energy with us, and I'm thank you for invitation. And I also wish you the nice continuation of this storytelling marathon.